The second winning series is a unique sports program that probes into the often controversial world of professional and amateur sports. Sports View Today.
Hello everybody and welcome to another edition of Sports View. I'm Ron Cameron.
And I'm Bob Page. Our sponsors in the program, Al Dietrich Oldsmobile. Uncle Al still has great rebate offers on select 1988 Oldsmobile models as well as GMC trucks at the still relatively new dealership on M59 just east of the Pontiac Airport in Waterford. We've got Fred Wetzel and the folks at T-Com Pagers. We've got Maxie's Main Street in the heart of beautiful downtown Royal Oak. We have, yes, Sports Fans Journal.
Yes.
Amazingly, issue number 18.
Wait till you
It isn't
see
19's coming out. Yeah, I hear it looks
Wait till
real
you
good.
see that in the Ford color. For further information on how to subscribe to Sports Fans Journal, how's this paper going? Dial 350-3530.
This is becoming one of the great media stories of the last 10 years in this time. And you really are doing a nice job with this paper. And here's a guy, ladies and gentlemen, Ron Cameron, who's been fired from every job he's ever had, washed out as a legitimate television and radio sports commentator, forced to go into the newspaper business, and damn it, you're making a run of that
Things
thing.
are going
And
good.
I'm amazed. I really am. It looks very good.
Still, you know what? It's still though. Still looking for more people in the advertising department. If people are looking for work out there, I want them to call this number. And you have to have something between yours besides sawdust. You're looking for work.
You've proven by owning the paper you don't have to have something between yours besides sawdust.
Just a minute. So if you're a self-motivated person, call this number anytime for more information. 350-3530, and I'll put you to work.
Yes, you also have PASS, the Pro-Am Sports Systems, Royal Transmission, and they've got 3 locations.
They've
you
got
want to talk
several
about
more
at least.
locations too.
Well, what do you want to talk about?
Well, let's talk
You're
about
not going to
the
list
three
them all. You know, the 3
No,
of
no,
Mount
no.
Clemens, Hamtramck, and Farmington Hills,
Right,
right?
and they've got several more.
And we also have Dugan's Irish Pub, Larry Payne and the gang on Woodward north of 13 Mile and Royal Oak, and the fine family of bootleggers with their 3 locations
Are you joining
in
the family?
southeast and
You're
mid-Michigan.
bootlegging now, aren't you?
And their newest place they want to tell you about on 9 Mile between I-75 and Woodward and Ferndale. Our guests in the program today, we're happy to have 2 of the great high school football players from the state of Michigan this year on everybody's blue chip list. Mike Maddie, the linebacker from
Just about
Troy, who's
everybody.
going to Michigan State, and Rob Doherty, whom I think many people consider to be the #1 prep player in the state this year, the big offensive lineman from Sterling Heights, Stevenson, right?
One's from Troy High,
Who is going to the University of Michigan next year. So we'll talk about the recruiting process with them, what that was like for them, and their hopes and aspirations for their college football careers. How about my Pistons? I keep telling you they're going to come on. They played the Lakers tough on Sunday.
Play the Lakers
and
tough.
Isaiah Thomas, you stuck your foot in your mouth
No, I didn't.
on this
I think
program
Isaiah's
recently.
had a bad year. You're going to say otherwise?
No. When you stuck your foot in your mouth, you said, you call Isaiah Thomas a great player? How is he a great player? What does he do that's great? You saw this kid rose to the occasion on
I'm
Sunday.
going to tell you something. He did rise to the occasion. National. Why doesn't he do that every game? Or close
For
to every
Isaiah,
game?
he has not had a good year, but I continue to believe the Pistons are going to come on, and I think this game Sunday was important. You might look at it on the negative side, you think, well, again, they didn't beat the Lakers in the Forum, but I think now they realize they can beat the Lakers in the Forum. They had them on the run in the first half.
Except that they got to get to the Lakers in the Forum. You know, they got to
Yes,
get
they
to the
do.
Lakers,
They got to get
period.
past Boston. You're right about and
Atlanta's gonna
Atlanta
be
as
tough.
well.
I think the key for the Pistons is winning the Central Division, which I don't think they're going to do. I think it's going to be a real battle, though. This is a tough division from top to bottom. I said, and you laughed at me at the start of the year, I said toughest division in basketball by far. Team in last place is 3 games over 500.
I was disappointed in the play of one particular guy on Sunday, who actually, I guess, had a pretty good game and has had a terrific year for the Pistons, but the play mentally of one guy who cost Detroit that game, helped cost them the game, and I'm talking about Ricky Mahorn. Mahorn, at the end of the 3rd quarter, gets the ball down low. They should have been playing for the last shot. There were 17 seconds, 20 seconds left. Instead, took the shot too early, even though he had a layup. It blew the layup. Missed 2 points right there. Back come the Lakers. Joe Dumars playing much too far off Wes Matthews, 5 feet off him, even though Matthews is extremely quick.
He's a bricklayer, though, Matthews.
Matthews hits a three-point shot.
Well, I don't mind that.
And then,
you want him to shoot that
on
shot.
the inbounds pass, what the hell is Mahorn thinking of? He's so disgusted with himself for blowing the layup, he just tosses the ball. Who's he throwing to? The only guy anywhere near was A.C. Green. Well, you got a blank look on your face. You didn't even see the game.
Oh, sure I did. A.C. Green.
The only guy anywhere near was A.C.
it.
Green. Green just grabs the ball, says, "Thank you, Ricky."
No,
just
my
like
blank
that.
look is what Mahorn was thinking
A
of.
7-point swing in the space of 25 seconds, and that was the death knell for the Pistons
Sure
in
it
that
was.
game. It's just unfortunate to see. Ricky was obviously upset. Mentally, he was totally out of the picture at that point in time.
He has
and
played well this year.
hurt
He's had a
the
good
Pistons.
year.
Oh, he really has.
I've been on his case before because I thought he was a dog, and he was, but he's come along
What
this year.
is this kid official thinking about on Friday night, hitting everybody with 2 technicals and throwing them out? What's his name? Steve Javy?
Steve Javy.
What a moronic performance this
Well,
was.
maybe not. Maybe everything he did was right. You ever take a look at the official side rather than the player's
You
side?
don't see things like this happen.
Well, you
especially for a kid official
Don't
just
forget,
up
the
working.
supervisor's right there working with him, so he's obviously justified what he did.
Daryl Garrettson was there, and I think maybe this kid wanted to impress Daryl
Well, no,
Garrettson.
you've got to,
and
let me
say,
tell you something.
I'm going to
The
show
league is so
Daryl how
tight.
tough I am.
No,
No,
you don't do that. That's not the way officials
No, you don't
go.
do that. You're right.
No,
You're
and
right.
I don't think he was doing it to that. Maybe it wasn't justified, maybe it was, but, and after the game, Del Harris said, young Javy, sounds like Sid, young Javy has been noted to have a quick whistle. Then shut up. Don't give him a chance. Anytime somebody gets a tee, they deserve it.
I don't agree with that. In this case, it was proven right. I mean, Del Harris was even laughing as Chuck Daly walked off the court. He didn't say anything to him. This kid's got rabbit ears, and he's going to have to get. He may be a good official, and he may become a good official, but he's going to have to get over the rabbit
Well, I think the
ears.
Pistons were upset because they couldn't intimidate him. That's as simple as that.
I don't know about that.
Well, that's what they think they can do, and they never
And
can.
his team, Bob Murdoch, put some interesting comments over the weekend. He says the Wings are the best team in the NHL right now.
Was he out drinking with you before the game?
I don't know.
Bob?
I mean, he must have been, because first of all, he said the only reason they've beaten us the last several times is because they're lucky.
No, he
and
didn't
Jacques
say
was
the,
up-
oh, now,
and,
Bob,
and
he
Jacques
didn't
was upset
say
about that. Jacques says, oh, yeah, we're lucky,
Bob,
huh? Is that right?
He said that, hey,
They've
they were
been
lucky to
lucky.
get 4 points out of it because they didn't play that well. They didn't in Chicago. He's right. The Wings made a big thing out of it. Bob Murray was
and
right.
then Murdoch says they're the best team in the NHL. No,
No, I wouldn't go along with that,
I wouldn't.
no.
But they've been playing fairly well.
They've
except
been
for
playing very
except
well.
for the Philadelphia
and
game.
they didn't play that bad in that game. The power play stunk in that game, but they're not that bad.
You know, we go around and around in this program about hockey in your heyday, the 1940s and 50s,
Not in
and
the
how
40s,
you think
50s,
it's so
60s.
much better than it is today, which I think is a ridiculous comment. But I've always said the one thing that you can't even argue about. You can't even argue about it. The goaltending in the old 6-team NHL was 10 times better than it is today. There's so many teams in the league,
What about defense?
and they all go to these
What about defense?
No, they all go to these 2 and 3 goalie systems now. You got guys playing goalie in the NHL these days who couldn't even have carried anybody's jock strap in the 6-team NHL.
What about defensemen?
There's some awfully good defensemen around too.
Offensive, as Sid would say, not defensive.
But I mean, this guy Bob Mason, I know he had a good year with the Capitals, and he's played fairly well for the Blackhawks this year. But boy, every time I see him, it seems like he's letting in goals that shouldn't.
Little
by any
Pang
stretch
has
of the
been their
imagination be
top
goals.
goaltender. Little Pang.
How about the Olympics? You got any comments? You been watching it all?
I don't want to say they stunk the joint out. That would be too strong of a comment to say, but they did put on a pitiful performance. You know, you've got to beat Czechoslovakia with a 3-goal lead. I can understand them losing to the Russians. That's just over and done with. Hey, it's done. But you've got to beat Czechoslovakia. Twice they blew a 3-goal lead. They should have at least put on a better performance. They should have been more offensive against West Germany. Norway, they looked flat in. This is not a well-disciplined team.
Dave Peterson has made an ass of himself coaching this team in the Olympics.
He's been watching you.
Joe Lapointe had a really excellent column in the paper saying this guy has had a chance to be an ambassador for American hockey. There are a lot of the media people and fans who denigrate hockey. They don't think it's a legitimate sport, and they're coming away saying, see, I told you, all hockey people are jerks. This guy Peterson has been on the muscle with the media since day one. He's refused to do any PR. And who is this guy? A high school coach?
High school coach.
I heard that Dave Peterson was going to be the coach. I said, Dave who is
thought
going
it
to be
was Brent
coaching?
Peterson. You thought he was still playing.
Let me tell you something. As soon as the Olympics are over and the U.S. goes away without a medal, this guy is going to fade back into the obscurity whence he
Well,
came.
he should like the other coach, Lou Vargo. Not Lou Vargo.
Luvero.
Luvero.
And I
Lou
cannot
Vargo.
believe that they've made this guy coach of the U.S. Olympic team.
Well, you're right there
I love
for a
Brian
change.
I love Brian Boitano's performance. I don't care if you're into figure skating or not. Just to see this tremendously gifted athlete at the top of his particular sport, the moment when it counted most, what an amazing performance on Saturday night.
come up flat in a lot of performances, though.
But not Brian
Olympics.
Boitano's
No,
performance, to
he
be
put
sure.
on a good one.
And we want to make a comment, too, about the Baseball Arbitration Awards, one of your
that is
favorite
pathetic.
subjects. Frank Tanana
You know,
got
this guy-
1.1 million. But here's Mark Thurman. And, you know, I like Mark very much.
So do I. He's a class person.
nice guy. But, I mean, he had
Okay.
was 0-1 last year. What did he
me
have,
tell you
5 saves? And
4 saves, I think, wasn't it?
5 saves.
Or was it 5 you gave
and the Tigers offered him a contract. He should have been thankful for $370,000.
Okay, he should have kissed the ground that the Tigers offered him anything. Here's a guy that not only didn't win a game last year, he gave up 80-some hits in 60-some innings for a elite pitcher, and the highest batting average against him of any pitcher in the big leagues. You kiss the ground that they offer him anything. A AAA contract, you should kiss the ground.
And he won.
This clown,
he won.
Obviously, this clown of an arbitrator
$435,000.
gave him that. And now you've got a number 4 starting pitcher. Now, Frank Tanana's done a nice job for the Tigers, even though for 2 months he couldn't get you out last year. But here's a guy that gets $1.1 million for being a 4th starting pitcher of a ball club.
But you know why the arbitrator gave him these awards, Ronnie?
Because they're stupid.
No, he didn't look at it and say, well, you guys had such good years, you deserve the money. He looked at it and he said this: the average baseball player in the big leagues today is making $500,000. Mark, you ought to be making at least $435,000.
For what?
You're at least an average pitcher.
Is he?
At least an average pitcher.
He didn't have an average
And
year?
length of service.
You know,
they've
Bob,
been around so long.
I'd hate to see.
It's unbelievable.
Bob, I would hate to see what Thurman would have gotten if he'd have won 5 games. Holy smokes, it's unbelievable.
Then he would have asked for $900,000. Huh? All right, I want to get to Mike Maddie. I want to get to Mike Maddie and Rob Doherty.
You know what I said?
What's that?
Mark Thurman's not going to make this ball club.
You're right. The Tigers are going to get rid of him because
they should after that performance.
And Pat Sheridan was smart in settling before he went to arbitration because the Tigers would have got rid of him.
Oh, I don't know.
He's
He's a valuable member of the team.
The only thing as amazing as the arbitration awards is the quotes from Sparky and
what
how
about the guys
the news guys
in
down
the guy's
there,
car?
the news and the free press guys down there all the time are just whatever Sparky says, they're just scribbling it down. It gets right in the paper.
It's terrible.
Sparky says this about Matt Noakes. Here's what he's going to do with Willie. Sparky changes every day. I mean, I wouldn't even pay attention.
What about the lawsuit? $500,000 because you urinated on somebody's car or something?
I beg your pardon.
The lawsuit.
I beg your pardon.
Read that. Read. You have it in your notes.
You've obviously been drunk coming to this show recently, haven't you?
Bob Page,
we're going to comment on the next show, but since you brought it up, you're so incompetent.
No.
Unbelievable.
We got plenty of time this show.
If you knew how difficult it was to work with this clown, you have no idea. I was going to bring it up the next program we did. Dexter Klinkskill, one of the big stories of the weekend, the former Dallas cornerback, has filed a $500,000 lawsuit against a hotel guest for urinating on Klinkskill's new car.
That was you, Bob Page,
That may be the most expensive urination in history. 500, and they're what, frivolous lawsuits?
Talk about clowns, Bob. Where's your job? You better be lucky you even got something to sit on the show.
That's right.
So let's go to the guest.
Why don't you tell the people, Ronnie, how long it was after the last time you were fired in the business till you got another legitimate job? Tell them. Go ahead. Take the camera.
I'm a publisher of a newspaper.
7 years,
Sports Fans
Ronnie.
Journal.
And in the meantime,
very, very well,
Ronnie,
folks.
in the meantime, Ronnie, what did you do? You went to a shortwave radio station that can't be heard 4 miles from the transmitter, and you sold advertising to bars.
Yeah.
I guarantee you I'll be on the air much quicker than that.
Yeah.
We'll continue with Rob Doherty and Mike Maddie.
What are you making now?
Right
Let's compare
these.
paychecks now.
What's the problem, lady? Where's your husband?
I don't need this.
You don't. Let Uncle Al's Army come through for you.
Yes, ma'am. No problem. Coffee?
Uncle Al's highly trained Army attacks general and major repairs on your private vehicle in a personal way. Thanks.
No, thank you.
Uncle Al, crushing the competition and high-cost service with the respect you deserve.
L. Dietrich, Oldsmobile, GMC Truck in Waterford.
If you're a sports fan, you should subscribe to this paper, Sports Fans Journal. Our monthly columnists include Ernie Harwell, George Kell, Denny McClain, Pass's own Jim Northup, Dick Vitale, Don Cherry, George Allen, Bob Feller, Eli Zaret, Bill Frieder, Governor Blanchard, and many more. Just $15 a year. Sports Fans Journal is also available at local newsstands and bookstores. For more information, call 350-3530. Sports Fans Journal, a must for all sports fans.
I'm sorry, she's out of the office for the day and there's no way to contact her.
With a pager from TCOM, you could contact her anytime.
I know it's an emergency, but it's out of the building now. May I call you later?
With Motorola pagers from TCOM, you can deal with emergencies now.
I'm sorry, our delivery man is on call right now. We won't be able to help you till tomorrow.
Hi, my name is Fred Wetzel with TCOM Paging. If these problems seem familiar to you, then you need a TCOM pager. You'd be surprised how affordable they are. Probably wonder how you've done without one. Give us a call at 559-6826.
The fine family of bootleggers is proud to announce its newest member, Bootleggers Uptown. Easy to reach from anywhere in Metro Detroit. Inside, you'll find Bootleggers' fabulous new bar has big city ambiance and excitement, but the friendliness of a small town with some of Detroit's most attractive waitresses to serve you. You'll also find dancing with a live DJ every night, nightly drink specials, and great food. A complimentary buffet 5 nights a week, and businessmen's luncheons every day from 11 to 4 at Bootleggers Uptown. And don't forget Bootleggers again, Michigan Avenue at Telegraph in Dearborn, and Bootleggers in East Lansing.
We're back on Sports View with Rob Doherty and Mike Maddie. Now, these are two names that if you don't follow high school sports, you might not know. But they've made good names for themselves as being two of the blue chippers that went into college football. Mike, okay,
Haven't gone in yet, but they will.
They're going to college football. Mike is going to Michigan State, and Rob is going to go to University of Michigan. You guys had your choice probably going to just about any school in the country, didn't you?
Yeah.
And why choose AU, Michigan, U, Michigan State?
My major factor was that's where I always dreamed of going to Michigan, University of Michigan.
Why?
It was a dream that I had as a young kid.
But I mean, why?
Because they would win the Rose Bowl.
You're saying you had
every
the
year.
dream, but why? Is it because of the Rose Bowl? Let him answer.
No, not because of the Rose Bowl. I would say when I was growing up, they were in a Rose Bowl. You know, you'd watch them.
Yeah.
And I guess probably from publicity, I've seen them. And it's a great academic school also.
Yeah, and Mike?
I've had a bloodline there. My brothers and sisters went there. I got a couple friends graduated last year I played football with. They're playing the team right now. And Pearls is just doing an amazing job there, and it's going to turn around.
Now, what do you guys, as far as you mentioned academics, what did you have a grade point in high school?
About 3.4.
3.4, and you had 4.0 your last couple of years, didn't you?
Yeah.
Of course, you didn't have to go to Michigan State. You know, Michigan State is not noted for a school like that. Bob Page even graduated from there.
Magna cum laude.
Yeah, and can you imagine if this clown can graduate from there?
Ask Ron what high school he graduated from, fellas.
I didn't need to go to high school.
Oh, you didn't go to? Oh, I see. Oh, all right, fine. Okay.
I was too smart to go to high school.
The expert on academics here wants to continue to.
I didn't have to like you did.
Right.
So, guys, now the situation is, so both of you got good grade points and things like that going into college. Okay, now you chose Michigan and you chose Michigan State. Now, what about playing time at the beginning? You guys are both blue chip players. Did they tell you, hey, you're going to have a chance to start with our team, both of you, starting with you?
They didn't say I had a chance to start. They said probably my first year I would probably be redshirted, and hopefully they'd like to have me ready by my sophomore year.
First of all, neither college would ever tell anybody they have a chance to start. Second of all, he's only 17 years old. So, I mean, a lot of kids, they hold back in grade school and in high school to give them an extra year to get ready. He's definitely going to be redshirted, and Michigan would never play.
What do you mean definitely redshirted? Do you think that's a sure thing you should be redshirted?
I'm sure I'll be redshirted, and though I wouldn't really like to be. I'd like to maybe fit in on a specialty team my first year somewhere, because I told you before, I'm not the kind of person who like stands on the sidelines and watch. I got to be out there doing something. I want to be out there playing, helping the team.
Do you think you could step in? Do both you guys feel you could step in and play major college football right away? Mike?
I feel I could. I feel
and start
strong. I feel I'd have a chance at an outside linebacker position right now, because Snow's on the inside, and it's almost impossible to beat him out the way he's going right now. He's having a fabulous year.
Rob?
I think it'd be difficult for me to go in and start right away. I think it'd be real difficult for me. But because you need the experience, and I wouldn't like to go and start. If I had, start off at just playing a few, downs or whatever, and then gradually work my way in, I wouldn't like to jump right into a starting position.
Should freshmen be redshirted, as far as you're concerned? Should freshmen be allowed to play?
Yeah, if they're good enough, I think they should.
Academically, you guys are in good shape, though. That's a good part about it. You're not the so-called perennial dumb jocks, eh?
Right.
So, how did you get that way? The fact is, the fact that you put a tremendous, that you guys proved that you can still be blue chippers, you can still go to major college ball, and you can still be pretty smart to boot. Well,
that's usually the reaction of guests to Ron's questions, gentlemen. I mean,
it takes time, and it's difficult during season to keep your grades up. But if you work at it, you can do it.
Well, how do you do that, though? The fact is that most of these guys coming on are pretty dumb.
They're pretty dumb?
Yeah, you'd have to say so. You see some of these athletes.
Yeah, some of them are. I would say they don't put the effort in.
Yeah, and they got to have effort. If you have no effort, you're just not going to do it.
We want to get to commercial break, but Rob, basically your situation in Michigan is going to be this. They're going to redshirt you your freshman year.
Most
you
likely.
will not play your sophomore year. You'll probably start 3 years for both Schembeckler, and any Michigan lineman who starts 3 years pretty much has an excellent chance to be an All-American. Is that what they told you?
Yeah, that's basically what they told me.
Thought so. We'll continue with football lessons for Ron Cameron with Mike Maddie and Rob Doherty.
Maybe they're teaching
right after
you
this.
something.
Dugan's Irish Pub has become one of the hottest spots on the North Woodward Strip. Come on inside and I'll tell you why. You start out with a famous Big Chief burger, an institution in Royal Oak since 1954. Dugan's has the cheapest drinks in Metro Detroit. Specials every night, not to mention the best looking waitresses serving those drinks. We've got oldies on the jukebox all the time in a great casual atmosphere to meet your friends. So come on out to Dugan's on Woodward, just north of 13 Mile, and have a bite of nostalgia.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, Nick. What brings you into Maxie's?
I'm having dinner with the Dovers. There's Ben Dover, his wife Eileen Dover, and the kids.
There are more interesting people for you to meet here at Maxie's. Besides that, we have great food, superb entertainment, wonderful atmosphere. Why don't you come out and you'll discover why hundreds of people are saying, meet me at Maxie's. It's the place to be in the northern suburbs.
And there's Flipped Over, Skipped Over, their aunt from across the lake, Float Over, and from the rodeo, Buck Dover is going to be here.
I'm 74 and my car's a 74. We're both running great because I'm loyal to Royal.
My transmission gave me the shakes. I went where I got a break. You bet. I'm loyal to Royal.
At Royal, we can stop transmission problems before they start. Come into one of our convenient locations and join all the satisfied customers who say, I'm loyal to Royal.
I don't even know what a transmission is, but I trust the guys who do. That's why I'm loyal to Royal.
Loyal to Royal, and drive yourself happy.
We're back on Sports 2 talking high school and college football with a couple of blue chippers, one going to Michigan, Rob Doherty, the other to Michigan State, Mike Maddie. And the fact is, now let's get into recruiting. I mean, how tough was it for you guys? It's got to be a tough situation today.
Yeah, it puts a lot of pressure on you. I feel that I enjoyed it, but at the same time I felt a lot of pressure. I took 3 trips instead of my 5 trips, one to Notre Dame, Michigan, Michigan State. And that was enough for me. I really would not want another trip. I mean, it's a good time, you know, to see the guys and that, but I had enough, and I signed, you know, I had verbal commitment early, and I'm glad I did.
Mike?
I took 1 trip to state, and
a lot of people are saying that they go to state and they just fall in love with it. What does that?
the atmosphere. It's just warm atmosphere up there. It's like a united atmosphere. You go there, you see what it's like. I don't know what to say about it. I mean, it's
but as a high school senior, don't just sell yourself short if you don't go to UCLA, go to Southern California, see what it's all about. I mean, aren't you interested? You got a free trip.
Oh, I mean, you want to go there, but I mean, would you want to actually go there and get yourself in deep there, and then get yourself in deep at like USC?
Put more
UCLA?
pressure on yourself.
Yeah, put more pressure on yourself.
In other words,
yeah.
I wanted to stay basically at home, so I didn't want to take that trip. It would have been nice, you know, getting the sun and that, but I didn't feel that would have been right to take the trip.
What else on recruiting is the difficult part as far as what happened? Did anybody really that just turned you off completely, offering you a lot of stuff and things like that?
Oh no, it was basically
all
everything
professional.
Was fair,
Was it
professional.
really?
Yes, it was. It was very professional. All 3 schools I dealt with were.
Okay, you might.
Well, they're basically up front. They told you everything, and it's in the recruiting. They'll tell you what you want and stuff like that.
Now we're going to take a look at Mike Maddie in action. This is year number 33 here in game that our flagship cable affiliate, United Cable, taped last year. Talk about your strong points as a player, Mike.
Quick to the ball. I like it's like a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde thing. When you get out there, there's just no stopping. You just get crazy.
That's one thing I noticed. In fact, we're going to see a ground level shot of you here momentarily, and the glazed look in your eyes reminded me of Chris Spielman from Ohio State.
Yeah.
Right here. I mean,
Is that a question,
look at this. I mean, that's you definitely become a different person on the field, don't you? Mm-hmm. What are your weak points in? What do you do to improve?
I think the initial contact. I'd like to really one time just like get in there and just crack someone and knock their helmet off. I mean, that's what I hit people, but really I really want to just like hit them a lot harder.
But are you strong enough?
Yeah, I feel I am. I mean,
quick enough?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Rob, as you know, you've chosen to be an offensive lineman. We have no highlights of you whatsoever. There aren't very many offensive line highlights. But I wonder, being the #1 blue chipper, according to so many people in Michigan this year, as big and strong as you are, and going to Michigan, where, unless you get hurt, you're going to be one of the great offensive linemen they've turned out. Is it hard to concentrate on academics because you're going to play in the National Football League someday?
No, I feel that I like to learn as much as I can. And although I might have a shot at the pros, which I hope, if it's there, it's there. But first I'm going to concentrate on academics, because anytime I could be injured or I could be done with football and I need something to fall back on.
And you guys, overall, your overall movement from high school to college, what do you think the biggest adjustment's going to be?
It's probably school. School will probably be difficult to academics. It's a change of pace from high school. High school, your teachers really, they care about you and they'll talk to you, and if they'll help you out with your assignments. In college, you go in there, you might even see a videotape. You don't really have a teacher, you just have an instructor with a big group of people. You don't have the individual attention that you had.
Okay, now
I feel the workload will increase. You're going to have to show more responsibility. I mean, high school, you get your homework, you get your tests, you study for it. Up at college, they're going to say, in high school, they give you the chalkboard, they explain to you what to read, they explain what they want you to do and stuff like that. In college, they'll treat you more mature. They'll give you, read this, do this, test this. And it's like that all the way through. And if you don't have the responsibility to study, you don't put the effort forward to it, you're just going to fall behind, and eventually you're just going to lose out.
Just to close out this segment, in 3 years, you guys will be playing against one another. You as an offensive lineman at Michigan, you as a linebacker. You'll be trying to knock the hell out of each other on the football field. Do I have any predictions? I've got friends of mine who played at Michigan. They're so proud, more than anything else, that they say they never lost to Michigan State in 4 years. Any predictions here?
I would say it's going to be a good game.
It'll be a good game.
It'll be a real good game. It always is. And no telling what's going to happen in 3 years.
No predictions, though, huh?
No, I'm not predicting that.
We'll close it out with Rob Doherty and Mike Maddie right after this.
Let's go. I'm driving.
Don't drive drunk. No, 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 no. Drive drunk. No, 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 no. Drive drunk. Woo! That's against strong drive as a man.
Come on, Mark. Let me drive. Mark, last time, give me the keys.
No way!
What kind of phone are you? Look, give him the keys.
Animals have feelings. They feel happiness, love, loyalty, hunger, thirst, sadness, fear, pain, grief, loneliness, and joy. This is Dennis Weaver with a thought from the Fund for Animals.
Yet. But baby, you just ain't seen nothing yet. Here's something you're never gonna forget, baby. You know, you just ain't seen nothing yet. You just ain't gotta go to school.
If cared for properly, your teeth can last your lifetime. Hello, I'm Dr. Mitchell Klein, here to tell you that in adults, gum disease is the major cause of tooth loss. There are warning signs. Do your gums bleed? Are they red or swollen? Are your teeth loose? Do you have bad breath? If you have any of these symptoms, call me today at 851-2980. That's 851-2980. There's no charge for consultation. Tooth loss can be prevented, so call today.
We're closing it out with all-state football players and blue chippers. Rob Doherty of Sterling Heights Stevenson, who was going to Michigan, and Troy High's Mike Maddie, who's going to Michigan State. Guys, you blue chippers around here, you ever think of the NFL? I'm sure you got a dream about it.
Yeah, I dream about it quite a bit. I feel it's a long shot, and like I said, I'm going to go and get my education. And if it's there, and I feel that that's right for me, I'm going to take the opportunity, definitely.
Mike,
it's every kid's dream to play in the NFL. I'm with Rob. You need your education first.
You guys both think you have the ability to play pro football down the road? you have the potential.
Oh, I think if you put your mind to it, you can do really anything you feel like you want to do. I think, yeah.
Fellas, good luck. We will enjoy watching you play at Michigan and Michigan State, respectively, over the next several years. I want to thank our sponsors in the program, too. Bootleggers, our newest sponsor. We also have Royal Transmission in their 3 locations.
No, several more locations,
Several,
too.
all right, fine. Sports Fans Journal. We also have Larry Payne and the
spit it
folks
out.
at Dugan's Irish Pub. Pass. Maxie's Main Street. Al Dietrich Oldsmobile, of course. T-Com Pager. We're out of time. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next
Got them
time.
all in there, didn't you? Bye-bye, everybody.